welcome to the Impact Summit. So the whole world is turning to digital, and this twin transformation of digital and sustainability keeps everybody very busy. As Barfu already mentioned, so in 2011, Mark Andreessen had this very famous quote of the software eats the world, industry by industry, value proposition by value proposition, and it goes into each of your businesses. And you can feel it coming closer and closer, even to very, very heavy machinery and heavy industry businesses as well. Look at this picture from 2013. Good old friends, not anymore. This was the announcement of Industrie 4.0, Industry 4.0. After that, everybody was trying, at least in the industrial space, to transform their supply chains, their factories, their warehouses. Some of us got very excited, and we thought this is another software you can buy off the shelf, and you implement it, and you become Industry 4.0. Actually, it's not. It will take a lifetime to transform. So be patient, and don't get overexcited, because there is more to come. In 2016, there's many, many different dates for when artificial intelligence became really prime time, but when Google DeepMind AlphaGo beat Lee Sedol in 2016, and if you have not watched the documentary on Netflix or YouTube, please do. You will understand what artificial intelligence is capable of doing. And it was not imaginable in 2016 that this will happen. We expected it a few decades later to happen. And of course, the world continued to evolve. Artificial intelligence unfolded in very different ways. We will come back to that. But probably the craziest year in human history, when we paid millions for monkey pictures, that year has passed by. We as a startup benefited from that hype, of course, but all that easy money disappeared in 2022. And now we have back to real economics, where you need to deliver profit to survive, basically. And in November last year, almost exactly a year ago, something even more disruptive happened. And everybody in this room is using this, either on their mobile phone or on their desktop, in their work, in their private life, in Turkish, in English, in any language. And we get astounded and surprised every single time, where does this intelligence come from? And now it's tangible. It's not the artificial intelligence somewhere which probably can do something for you. No, it's right there in your hand, and it can do very tangible things for you, at least text-based. And of course, all the other tools, Gen AI with creating images, no need for actors, no need for models. You can take pictures of new collections and new combinations. Even it creates new collections for you. Many fashion retailers work with Stable Diffusion and Midjourney and all the other great tools to create collections now, even in this country. And then we are now in 2023, and no, I'm a management consultant by profession. I did this for almost 30 years. And in an age of digital transformation, in an age of ChatGPT, this can't continue the same way. Consulting has not transformed. Consulting works in the same way like these guys did it. These are my personal heroes. This is Sun Tzu, about 2,500 years from now, earlier from now. Machiavelli, the greatest consultant of all times, probably. And then the modern time management guru, Peter Drucker, of course. So we are shaped by their books. We are educated by their schools, by their thinking. And this is what you do as a management consultant. And more than half of your organizations I have worked in the last 25, 30 years. And we enjoyed workshops like this. And this is probably good, because we're human beings, right? We like to talk to each other. And this workshop probably has a little value, But what happens after this workshop is what you pay the most for. This is the inefficient Excel and PowerPoint work in the background, which you don't even see. And sometimes you receive copy-paste templates from our dear colleagues in the consulting industry because they had the same recommendation and the same roadmap for that other retailer or for that other insurance company, which is kind of efficient, but not very pleasant when you especially even find the name of that other insurance company in the presentation. Happens to every consultant, believe me, happened to me as well. So you want to continue like this? What is the output then of all this work? You spent weeks and months, and you spent also good money with these guys, depending on the level, on the quality and the brand, especially of that consulting firm. It can go up into 6, 7 figures. And at the end, you get this, right? And you probably read a few pages, and then it's a nice piece of dust collector in your shelf, and you not turn back again. This document is a dead document. It's probably reasoned on the day you receive it. The next day, it's out of date, because the world is changing so fast. And in a digital era of retail, insurance, banking, manufacturing, supply chain, everything all at once, you know, there must be a better way of delivering basic consulting services, and we come to that. These are the 3 announcements I will try to make today. So when I put these on a simple business school graphic about the affordability of these services and about the efficiency of these services, I would say my dear colleagues at the big tier 1 firms would be down there, super expensive and not so efficient in the way they deliver it. Then the other group, category 2, kind of colleagues, I still call them colleagues and I have huge respect for them, and they do deliver value for specific work, especially the implementation and integration, not so much the strategy and the assessment side of things. And then there are the hyperscalers and some other technology vendors who provide similar things. They are quite biased about their own technology, of course, but that's okay. You need them anyway, so it's okay if you go to vendor A or vendor B and get recommendations for vendor A or B. You will buy them anyway, so that's okay. I would say we kind of not very close in that corner, in this corner actually. So I think what we are doing is right up there. And this is actually what we try to achieve together with you believing in what we are doing. And this would be what we call the consulting reinvented. So if consulting has always been about transformation and consulting itself has not transformed, then there is a contradiction, and we are here to change that. When we founded Digitopia with my dear co-founder in the back and with our team, we decided to go away, to move away from the classical time and material consulting model and turn consulting into software. And today you will see for the first time, most of you for the first time, how that looks like. So what consultants do basically is a very linear process. We need to understand what you're doing. We call that measurement, call it assessment or analysis. Then we give you some advice which helps you to transform. You could call that strategy, roadmap, objectives, priorities, vision, whatever you want. And the execution of this transformation should create impact. Very linear process of consulting. There is no rocket science in consulting. Just you do it yourselves. Many companies have their own internal optimization, process improvement, lean, Six Sigma strategy teams, even internal consultants in some companies. They're called consultants. So these are the 3 things you ask a consultant to do and achieve together to improve your business, to transform better, to succeed, to reach your business objectives, to create shareholder value, to create value for the planet, for the universe, to be a better company, to be a better citizen, to be a better foundation, whatever your business is. So it's about measurement, it's about transformation, it's about impact, right? So, I repeat it again, it's about measurement, it's about transformation. These are the three things, and we actually integrated them. For us, it's not three separate things, it's one integrated software platform. We call it the Impact Platform. So on this platform, you can measure your company, you can define your transformation program, and you create impact for your shareholders in an integrated way. No Excel, no PowerPoint, no inefficient labor work, no documents going to Indian call centers and coming back. So all integrated in the cloud, online, real time. Let's look into the details of this. So what is the measurement tool actually doing? So you get a beautiful dashboard about your measurement results. Like a health check of your individual health, you get a health check of your business, a 360-degree review, for instance, also of your digital maturity, which is the ultimate KPI of where you are on your digital transformation journey. On a scale from 1 to 5, you will understand where you are against your competition in the benchmark. So we've created a measurement tool. Some of you experienced this already. We have a mass polling tool if you want to go out to your employees and ask them. We have a live scorecard, which you see here on the score. Real-time benchmarks. Whenever we do another assessment, you will get updated. So it's not a dead document in the shelf. So every time there is a new measurement, you probably lag even further behind, or you improve because the benchmark's getting lower or higher. It's like on the stock market, right? And we even now integrate generative AI to help you with the scoring assistance. The most frequent question is, okay, we are somewhere between 2 and 3, but what is it exactly? Is it 2.5 or 2.6? Gen AI is helping us. So even this can be digitalized and automated by software, and we did it already, and you have access to this platform. So just have a small brief view on the measurement tool. This is the workshop. You score your current state, you score your target state. This is a 15, 20 minutes discussion. No Excel, no PowerPoint. The results are represented in the visual tool immediately with the benchmark, with the target state, with the current state, and you get more Gen AI support even on this platform. So, next module. Before going to the next module, excuse me. So we do surveys with you guys, and we know, so of course this is a distinguished audience. Most of you we have measured already, and we continuously measure you. But 90%, all the other people not in this room, most of them we have not measured yet. So tell everybody that this is very important. So, and they will fail if they not measure where they are. Actually, we have evidence for that as well. And the saying goes, like, what's measured gets done, right? So this is about your success. That's the reason why we call it transform better, to succeed. And we will have a AAA value proposition. So this is the assurance part. Who in the audience would like to be in a transformation program, will be in charge of a transformation program where he or she knows that you're going to fail? So nobody wants to fail. The best way is to assure it and to document it that you're progressing, slow or in certain areas, but if you don't document it, if you don't measure it, the likelihood of that you stall and you not recognize that you stall, you will even fail. And this happens very, very often. In the next slide, you will see the percentage. You heard this, about 70 to 80% anyway, right? So transform module capability. The recommendations you get from consultants are good to a certain extent. The recommendations you get from ChatGPT are also not bad. with all the knowledge we have and accumulated this as a few hundred years of experience, we created about a few thousand recommendations in our recommendation database, and we created a recommendation engine. Exactly where you are on your digital transformation journey or your sustainability transformation journey, exactly precisely of the configuration of all your maturity data in the 6 dimensions of digital maturity, in the 6 dimensions of sustainability maturity, you get very precise, genuine recommendations on what you need to do to transform successfully. There will be more details to this. So we have a prioritization tool based on urgency and importance. So most of the business units, and especially your business leaders, want everything at the same time, which is impossible. So you should select only a few to succeed with them. One of the most important success factors, basically, to prioritize. It's not about the number of exclamation marks in the subject of the email of the incoming request, or the guy shouting the loudest, which is the classical governance model, which we would call the rule of jungle. It should not be like that in your company. So there is simple, scientific, quantitative approaches to how to get to the most important and the most urgent initiatives. Then you put that in a roadmap, the modern term for the project plan or whatever you want to call it, and we call the steering committee executive pit stop. And even here, we have integrated ChatGPT and other forms of Gen AI to give you details about each of these recommendations, how to implement it, what are the success factors, and what are the best cases, the success stories out there. So let's have a look. So this is the transform module of the Impact platform. So you get the recommendations. They're automatically by the algorithm prioritized. You click the recommendations. You want to add to your roadmap. You click the proceed to roadmap. You have a simple Gantt chart tool, all in one platform, all in the cloud. Many customers told us, help us to get rid of Microsoft Project or Slack even, or Trello, which doesn't help them. So then this is the pit stop. This is the steering committee, scientifically and quantitatively committed. No shouting, no, all scientifically. There's no need for law of jungle. All right, so this helps you basically to transform better. 70 to 80% of transformations fail. You don't want to be in a failure transformation. Agree on vision and priorities. Agreement is not that easy for at least the important stakeholders. They might agree in the meeting room, and then they disagree outside of the meeting room again. So this is what we call alignment, and this is an important part. All this scientific approach helps you to achieve, to be successful with your transformation. Third module is about impact. So here we have very proprietary, genuine analytics, which we call the Iron Man analytics, which shows you against the competition how you should prioritize your projects against velocity and endurance. Too complex to explain in short words, but this is about your investment portfolio and about the economical conditions and your strategic objectives. If you have to compete and run faster, you should invest in velocity. If you're experiencing financial difficulty or uncertainty, you should probably invest in endurance. The snowflake analysis you will see in the screenshots, and the headquarter view for group companies. Sabancı Group in Turkey, other big conglomerates in other countries use our tool to compare their companies against each other and rank them and identify centers of excellence, identify synergy areas, and identify other strengths and weaknesses, and optimize their digital transformation across the group, across the company or they're owning. Business Impact Analyzer, soon to be launched. This is comparing your maturity against business KPIs and maximizing the business impact again. And with all these analytics, we also help you with strategy simulation. So what would it look like if you go route A against route B, and what should you invest? So how does it look like on the platform? It's the Iron Man analysis, 2 dimensions. velocity and endurance. You see where you are against the competition. You know what all the competition is doing. The snowflake analysis is inspired by the balanced scorecard. The headquarter view shows you your group companies against each other. You can click who is best in the customer dimension, and you see your companies in the Ironman view as well. Who is closest to the Ironman and what kind of investments I need to do to go up to level 5. So these are not 3 different things. This is one platform. There is a human element in this. If you want the moderation makes sense, you can do this yourself. There is a certification course. The gap between the leaders and legacy is widening. Our benchmark data shows this. In some industries, it's 20 years almost. So you have to do more with less. You have to prioritize to accelerate your transformation, especially those who are below the benchmark, below the average in your industry. You have to change something immediately. So there's 2 big solutions you love, you use at the moment, Digital Maturity Index and the Sustainability Maturity Index. On the digital side, we have a few hundred measurements. On the sustainability side, we have a few dozens of measurements and new products coming up in the pipeline. So our customers ask us these days, of course, analytics and AI, Gen AI, operations, the supply chain, very important topic. In the sustainability space, diversity, equity, inclusion, very important. We work on these products. And we also received individual assessments. So how digital is one single individual, our departments, our functions, and also for the sustainability side. What is the culture in the company? What are the skills and capabilities? So this is what we are working on, soon to be launched during next year, most probably. And during the pandemic, because of digital capabilities, we've moved across many continents. Our headquarters actually is in the UK, and we're now focusing on going further west, going on the other side of the ocean, and having the first customers in Canada and the US. Also working with international groups here who have business abroad and in other places. We have certification courses for both the Digital Maturity Index and the Sustainability Maturity Index, which you can apply to in your companies as consultants, as partners, and we have a very diverse group of audience here in this room today from all these different stakeholders, customers, partners, and consultants. And we have done a lot of measurements, which result in very strong benchmark data, and now already many users on the platform. So we actually have digitally transformed consulting, and we do this because not of being passionate about digital, but because we want you to succeed with your transformation. This is what we are passionate about, and that's the reason why we even called the Wi-Fi password transformbetter. Thank you very much for coming here, and we'll see you again.